Good evening, everyone. I hope you can hear me all right. Got a new little setup here. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of come back around because it's been a minute, and especially it's been long, or hasn't been that long since I've done a stream on my own, but it's definitely been a minute since I've done a SciVive Sunday on my own. And yeah, I just finished this morning. I finished 88 hours of a water fast, and of a fast. Let me put it that way because I learned I didn't intend on doing this. I actually didn't like start out like I didn't plan to fast. I wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna, like I didn't really do it correctly. Some might say, but I fast intermittently almost every day. Every day, I fast intermittently. So I woke up in the morning and I went and did yoga. If you'll follow me on Twitter, it was the yoga meditation morning that I did, and kind of went through that day. And it was already like past 4 or 5, and I hadn't eaten, and I didn't feel like eating. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fast. Like it's been a while since I've done that, and it's been kind of on my heart to do it a lot, mostly because I've been going through a lot in life emotionally. And for me, fasting is not just, I don't do it to lose weight or to, it's for the health benefits, certainly. And even more so after I talked to you guys a little bit more about what I found out about fasting and how it works and what happens to your body as you're fasting. But it's for me, it's more of it was really a spiritual journey. Like I went into it because spiritually I wanted to feel renewed, and I wanted to kind of empty myself in a way of just a lot of the heavy things that I've been dealing with and a lot of the emotions that have been weighing on my heart. So I went into it thinking I was just going to fast for a couple days, and then as it goes in Hexaco, y'all probably know this by now, just synchronicity after synchronicity, right? We seem to have so many like-minded people in this community, and there are themes that pop up that recur, and there are, there's just so many synchronicities, I think, that happen within this community. So what I saw was in the SciVive Telegram, which is t.me/SciVive. If you're not in there already, come check it out. Brent Nally, I think that's how you say his name. I'd have to go back and look, but he's very active in the SciVive Telegram and posts a lot of things about longevity and different research that he does. And he had, in the last few days, he had posted something about fasting. And on my second day of the fast, I recalled that. I was like, oh, I should check out this playlist and see what this is all about, and what more information I can find out about why this is beneficial, because it seems as though a lot of people who are into longevity also are into fasting for long periods of time. And what I found out was that around the 72-hour mark, and I might be saying this incorrectly. I should have brought up the charts and things as I was doing this, but it's just a chill stream, y'all. So it was really stunning to see that once you get past 72 hours, and it is different for everybody. I saw a chart that said it's at 72 hours, but then later on I was watching some of these YouTube streams about water fasting specifically, and they spoke about how it between 72 and 90 something hours, depending on your body type and what you eat and how your body responds to fasting, your cells start to get regenerated. I'm pretty sure it had something to do with the mitochondria, and there's a repair that happens with your mitochondria, which is interesting because I believe, if I'm recalling this correctly, Aubrey de Grey did a lot of his research about longevity is involving the mitochondria. So that was a really neat, succinct type, or not succinct, synchronistic type thing that I saw happening. So after I read that, and I was doing well on my second day, and I do think that because I fast intermittently, I am less prone to hunger pains. I didn't have any hunger the whole time. I was not hungry, was not worried about it. Um, Before I go on, I just want to say what's up to chat real quick. What's up, Pulse, Orion, Russ, John J. UK, D. Marino, and Completion Fails. Good to see y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Very happy that y'all are hanging out with me on this Sunday night. I think I need to start having a set time. I hear that that's from other friends of mine who are streamers. I hear that that's a good thing to do. I think actually Hexo mentioned that, and but that's difficult for me. And here comes the emotions, y'all. So because I have such a heart that is very compassionate and caring, and I tend to cater to others a lot, and that has been detrimental at times. And the reason I bring that up is because I have often done my streams. I'll do them Wednesday and Sunday, right? Like I do Wednesday, Woman Crush Wednesday or Wellness Wednesday, and then SciVive Sundays. But I usually am more open to letting my guest determine what time the broadcast is going to be, because I know everybody's schedules are crazy. So yeah, I'm trying, like, I want to be flexible, and maybe what I'll do is like I'll just start streaming at a certain time, and if a guest can't make it, either like pre-record or something. I'm gonna figure it out. But let's see. All that being said, I really wanted to share my fast breaking experience. If you have never fasted, I highly recommend it. It really, and if you can, go for at least a day, at least 2 days. Like try 2 days. If you can do three, I'm gonna share in the description. I haven't done it yet, but I'm gonna put a link to the playlist that Brent from the SciVive chat posted. It's a playlist he's put together about all of these different they're all videos on fasting and how good fasting is for you and what it does for you. So I'm going to try this. I'm going to need y'all's help because I tried this once in the past and it didn't work. Like the audio didn't work. So I'm going to try this again and let me know if you guys can hear the audio. It's probably going to be a little wonky at first, but let me see if I can make this work. Oh, so sorry. Let me back it up. So the greatest thing to me about fasting is when you break your fast, which sounds like, oh yeah, of course, you're eating, right? But it's important to put something in your body. Like the first thing that you want to intake is going to be, needs to be maybe some kind of fruit, maybe some vegetable juice. I've heard bone broth also is good. But to me, fruit, like if I eat a fresh piece of fruit after my fast, or drink like a green smoothie, which is what I did, you'll see in this video, it just is the most wonderful experience. It's like eating for the first time because your senses are all heightened and you just appreciate the flavors and the taste so much more. It's really trippy. So without further ado, I thought it would be fun for you guys to see my reactions and like how I felt as I was breaking this fast. So let me see if this will work. All right. Maybe if I just hang out on the side here. Hold on, wait for it. Let me know if you can hear that. Dang it. I don't know why. Oh, man, this bums me out. Yeah, no sound on the video. I don't know, y'all. I did that. I tried to do this once, and Scott T was hanging out on a SciVive Sunday, and he got it. He got his to work, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe maybe I'll just like dub it because they're oh. Okay. So since I'm here and this is here, I'm going to comment. Like I'm just gonna summarize what I'm saying and you guys can see the captions. So you'll get to see my reactions, which is gonna be kind of cool. So basically, I'm right here. I'm talking about how I did a master cleanse before, which is you're taking in like cayenne pepper and maple syrup and things. But this was my first water fast. So yeah, you can kind of see the text. Let's see. So hopefully you can see the text now. So this is my first nutrition after 3 days, 88 hours. I guess I'll just read my words. It's like my senses are on fire. Like I can taste everything. I can taste the pineapple. I can taste the apple. I can taste the spinach. I remember, like I'm remembering it right now too. It's just amazing. Everything is heightened because you've gone so long without putting some kind of substance in your body. That it's just everything is. What is it like, SJ? Tell me. Feeling it is a trip. When you take in something nutritious and wonderful for your body feels it. Like when I was having that experience, it was as if there was like a light glowing and like enlightening every cell. Yeah. Littles, is it Vittles? Vitamins. Look at that relief. So, so relieved. Just set up on mic. I do have mic on input. I don't know how to change that. Let me see. Maybe John Jay, if I change it to my MacBook, would that do it? That might do it. All right. So that's, since you guys can't hear it, that's enough of that. I'm gonna, come back here. Thanks. So hopefully you all could read the captions a little bit and like got the gist of what I was saying as I read my own captions. But oh yeah, that experience of breaking a fast with something super healthy and fresh, there's nothing like it. I have hardly experienced something that what's a good way to put that? Like it's like just your senses. All my senses come to life. All of my senses are just lit up. Subtitles for fun. I'm glad you guys thanks. Thank you, John Jay. Appreciate you. So yeah, that is a little bit of the journey that I've been on recently. And I wanted to read a few things from SciVive. It's been a minute since we had a stream where it's just me talking SciVive and hanging out. So I did find a passage that I really liked, or a few passages actually. And these are all going to be from Spirit, the Spirit chapter. And really, a lot of this I wanted to talk about because I'm very positive. I'm a very positive person in general, just in life. And that's always been the case. And I've actually received a lot of hate for that over time. The people that in my life have slandered my name or have talked about me behind my back, I believe it's because they don't believe that I can actually be this happy so much of the time. Like surely there has to be something wrong with me, or I'm faking it, or but mostly that people think I'm fake, or people have thought I'm fake. And I feel for them because that shows me that, maybe they've had so much trauma in their life, or they've had one thing or another happen where they just find it really difficult to move forward in a positive manner. And I feel so grateful that I have I have a cheery disposition, you could say, just like Mary Poppins. It's just who I am. And there's a lot of different quotes and things about, don't take my kindness for weakness. And in a way, being someone who is kind in such a large way, I'm really only in the last, let's see, 4 years of my life have I started to realize how I look to people. I've been really oblivious a lot of my life, about my physical appearance, not, and mostly just because I don't concentrate on it. I don't think about it. I'm busy doing other things. So it hasn't been something that I focus on. You all know it. Like, I don't wear makeup, rarely. And like today, you got a little extra. Put it on eyeshadow. Yeah, real nice. Um, I'll put it on. I've been doing it a little bit more for different things, but it's just not something I've preoccupied my time with. So to have gone on this journey and to now appreciate my physical appearance a little bit more, y'all, getting to the point where I'm appreciating my internal beauty, that is a journey. That's where I'm at right now, basically. And it is really precious. I feel like this is going to be a time in my life when I'm going to look back and say, I grew so much through all of that. And that's what really matters to me. And that's why I think why I've, not seen or don't like recognize the external as much, because I have a lot internally that I like to give and be, be a positive influence in that way. And it's at this point in my life and what I've been going through this last couple months, it's been really recognizing how special I am. And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn or like be obnoxious or pretentious in any way, but I see now, like I'm really starting to see now that I am pretty damn unique. Like there are not a lot of people out there like me, and I deserve the love, attention, and affection that I give, because I've been such a giver for so long. My time, my energy, my money, my resources. I give and I give and I give. And I don't expect much in return. I haven't expected much. And that has been a detriment. And I just am now starting to see that. I finally have realized, oh, I'm giving and giving and giving. And these people, person on the other end is not really, like, they're thankful, but not grateful. I hope that makes sense. It's like, it was like a very surface level thing. And there was just a lot that I think I was just giving so much and not getting replenished that luckily I never felt resentful. I haven't gotten to that point. But I definitely feel a little taken advantage of and a little like, underappreciated, I think is a good way to put it. Very underappreciated. So to move forward from that and be aware of my time and my energy and my love and my resources and where I'm focusing all of that, I think is going to be a really great gift for myself moving forward. I'm going to check in with chat again real quick. Let's see. Wake Dog says, you can open doors with just a smile. Super true. I think that is very true. I have some friends who don't smile, like, because they feel that their smile it was just, it's actually just one friend of mine who said this, that I thought it was very intriguing that he doesn't smile much because he feels like it's such a personal thing. He feels like he's being vulnerable in a way when he's smiling. But I mean, that kind of goes to show that there's a little bit of truth to that, because a smile can be very powerful. It can be something to brighten someone's day. So for sure, Russ does not wear makeup. It's all good. I'm going to read this one from John J in the UK. Unfortunately, there will always be people who want to put their negativity out there, but they only win if you let them win. Those types of behavior just makes me smile more. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I've pretty much never let them win, because I know me. I know who I am. I know that I'm genuine. I know I'm happy. That's their misery to wallow in. So for sure. Hello, Crypto Sloth says, hey. Hello, David Lee. Thanks for joining. Let's see. Wake dog. As long as I have shoulders, you have a place to rest your ankles. That's my philosophy. Wait, what? You want to explain that? David Lee, you are amazing, and a two-way street is a must for sure. No, it absolutely is. And it was like I was settling, really. Like, I thought the two-way street was going on fine, but like maybe one side, like the other side, was congested. Like, maybe that's a good way to put it. Like, we're driving along, but like I'm in the fast lane, and like someone over here is just like stuck in traffic. So that's the way it goes. All right, so thank you all again for being here. Let me pull up this little part of SciVive we're going to read. I'm going to read this one paragraph last. I think it's really good. The last thing that I want to say, and well, no, maybe, I'm going to read a little bit of this, and I think it'll kind of trigger one of the things that I want to talk about. So this is from Spirit, the Spirit chapter of SciVive, and I'm going to read just a few small paragraphs. They are mostly about emotions, because it's been emotional, and that is important to recognize your emotions, to allow your emotions to flow through you, to honor them, and just let them be. So without further ado, let's go. All right. Emotions have a reason. Every emotion has a reason for its existence. All these simple belief systems leave out critical emotions like greed or rage or envy. They just choose a couple and say those are the ones that matter, like safety. The map isn't the territory, and these models of human emotion are rather oversimplified. And this one is, be the master of your emotions. Comedians and musicians make their living causing people to experience good feelings. You too can make yourself feel good in the same ways. When you're living in tune with your expectations, you'll find a lasting inner glow and smile that just doesn't seem to go away. I love that. That is so me, right? Like, I have that inner glow because I know that I'm doing the right things in my life, and I'm, trying now at this point to set higher expectations of anyone coming into my space and into my life. So another 2 sentences here. He says, when it first appears, you'll be curious as to why it is that you're happy for no reason. This is the hidden and lasting joy that comes with living up to one's expectations. That's badass. I like that. I'm probably going to tweet that later. And then I'm going to read this one too, because, this stream for me is talking about the ups and downs of life. And my downs, I have had friends that suffer from depression and several other things, right? Just like things that stack on top of things. And again, I am grateful because that's never been really an issue for me. I mean, there's definitely been times in my life when I've been depressed, but it was usually because of outside circumstances. And to be able to have the disposition that I have and to have joy in my heart and in my life, like, it really, I'm trying not to take that for granted, right? Because, and I it's hard sometimes for me to be around people who have depression or are, and that's two different things, right? People that have depression and people who are self-deprecating, right? Maybe you can have both and you can do both, right? Self-deprecation, though, I can't. Like, if you're just going to put yourself down, it's hard. Like, it's hard for me to be around that kind of energy, even in a comedic way. It's still difficult for me to handle someone beating themselves up or, thinking so little of themselves. And then, in the depression, on the depression side, it's also difficult for me because I want to be able, I've learned over time to just really be able to hold space for my friends who are going through that and struggling with depression. Because for me, I have a very solid mental view that you create your reality. You decide how you feel and what your reaction is to things. And I do understand that it is a chemical, it can be a chemical imbalance. Depression can be a myriad of things, but it's, I don't know exactly where I was going with that. I wanted to just highlight the good and the bad. I think overall the point I was trying to make is that I don't have a lot of really dark days. I don't. But I have recently. There's been a couple, and luckily I feel like the release of crying is such a healing power. Whether it's happy tears or sad tears, they're cleansing tears. They're moving something through your spirit, right? So, with that being said, the next little section I'm going to read is titled Crying. Richard says, feeling terrible? Try thinking about how terrible you feel, wondering if you hit an all-time record. It might shift your perspective into the joy of whether you've achieved a new status in life, gone somewhere you've never gone before. You might burp. Pardon me. You might also just feel worse. Some have practiced by just thinking, how amazing is it that one can feel so bad right now from things only in one's head, and instantly the feeling is subsided. So it's some good advice about that. Let me go. I see a few chats here. Let's see. Fasting for 88 hours. Dante Junior Hex says it's too hard. I don't know, Dante, if you were here at the beginning, but I think that because I intermittently fast, I also let me also factor in the fact that going through something emotionally like this, when people are, I know, like, this happened to me when my high school boyfriend dumped me. I was very sad and I didn't eat. You don't feel like eating sometimes. So I don't feel that sadness. I don't really feel it in that way, but I have had an emotional low that I'm going through. So I wonder if that affected the hunger. I didn't usually when I am fasting, it's not, the hunger pains aren't very bad, but this time I had none. I was not interested, like food didn't interest me. Like if my stomach was like growling or doing something, like didn't even feel like hunger. I just knew I needed more water. So I just drank more water. But yeah, so it's been great. Let's see. I won't read this comment from Albert. It says, I always thought I smiled a lot, but people always seem to tell me smile. I did not realize I was not smiling until a few years back when I saw myself in a video where I knew I was genuinely smiling, but saw what others saw, which did not look like a smile. So it took me a while to get my smile good. That's cool, Albert. Like, what an awesome self-revelation to have, where maybe you were smiling on the inside, but just it didn't it didn't physically like get there to your face enough. So that's really cool. And that, what a beautiful thing to have that kind of self-reflection where you want to do better, right? And you want to show people, yes, I'm smiling. That's super cool. I like that. Hexforce says, I recently started 24-hour fast and cut out fast food. Baby steps. Hexforce 1. Yes. Yes. Someday I'm going to have emojis and things, and I'm going to learn how to do this whole streaming thing a little bit better. But if I would have a party for you right now, because, fast food. Oh gosh, who just said, I was just watching a stream. I think it was Rags to Riches said, uh it's something about it was like fast money is bad money. I feel the same way about fast food. Fast food is bad food. My fast food, if y'all are familiar with Trader Joe's, that's my fast food. I will go to Trader Joe's and I will pick up a sandwich or a little salad kit or something, and like just it's super simple, so easy. They have a whole section of ready to go, ready to eat meals. So just pop in there, get yourself some fast food from Trader Joe's and pop on out. But yeah, no, Hex Force One, again, I commend you for doing the fast and for trying to cut out the fast food, because that really will change your eating habits. You'll start to hopefully try new things, try new recipes, try different foods that you've never tried before, and try them in different ways too. You know, I know a lot of people say they don't like tofu, but man, tofu takes on and I'm not saying you have to be vegan or vegetarian, right? I'm not. I've been vegan on and off, but I'm not right now. But just, you know, to the point, tofu takes on the flavor of whatever you're putting it in. So, you know, just put some spices in there, like, you know, make it an Italian thing, put it with pasta. It's, you know, it's very versatile. And there's so much out there these days too that can be a replacement or a better option for whatever it is you're craving. So instead of regular French fries, try making your own sweet potato fries at home. Instead of cereal in the morning, switch to oatmeal. Or, oh, what is it called? Oh, I can't remember. It starts with a B. Oh, or amaranth. If you all like porridge or, you know, anything like that, cream of wheat, amaranth is a much healthier replacement for something like that. And it's delicious. So good. So easy to make. Super simple. So just, yeah, those are just a few tips of my own. Let's see. All right. Yeah, depression suppresses appetite. It sure does. I sure hope I'm, you know, not going, again, like I said, I don't feel depressed, but I'm definitely going through the feels. Yeah, fast money comes with fast problems, something like that. I'm glad I made your night, Hex Force One. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, hard to say no to TJ's. Albert, on that TJ's tip, man, they have got so much good stuff. Oh, Canada. Dante says that they're in Canada. They don't have a variety of fast food like we all got in the US. Yeah. It's fast food. It's not a good thing. All right. So let's go. This is the last little paragraph I want to read. And before I read this, the one thing I also did want to mention was I have been given two pieces of advice, or sorry, I've been given the same piece of advice twice in the last, let's see, 8 years. So 8 years apart, actually, I've been given this piece of advice, and it's been very beautiful, and I'm glad that I returned to it. So if you all have ever, I wonder if you guys have experienced this, right? Especially because I'm sure that I mean, like our statistics, right? Mostly men in crypto, and looks like mostly men watching right now. So I'm curious if you all have felt something like this with a partner. Maybe it's someone that you, or doesn't even, it might not even have to be a romantic partner. Let's say that you've met someone, and this person, when you're around them, you feel like royalty. You feel like this person has kind of helped to bring you up and lift you up and make you just feel kind of like at the top of the world in a way. So I've had this experience a couple times, and one of the first times I really felt this was about 8 years ago. I was living in Puerto Rico, and I was with someone who is now my best friend, and he and I dated for a hot minute, but just turned out to be better friends. And when I was around him, and I think in part it may have been because of the way he carried himself or the way he respected his own self, but it also made me, I noticed I'd sit up taller, I'd walk taller. I just felt regal in a way around this person. And I remember at the time I was also going through some shit, and I was talking to a therapist, which I do on occasion. I would like to go again probably soon. I probably go like once every few years. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that when I went through probably the worst time of my life, which I've mentioned a few times, I was in an abusive relationship. And the therapist that I saw at that time, as I was actually working through some PTSD from that relationship, she told me that I have a very strong mind. And I'm very fortunate that I'm able to recognize when I am suffering through PTSD. It doesn't happen much anymore, especially concerning all those things that I went through about like 8 years ago. But when it does happen, when it did happen back then, I was able to kind of remove myself from it and see it for what it was. And with whoever I was with or what was going on, I'd be like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like, I know this is not about you. Like, this is, you triggered something. This is not about you, but I just need a moment. Like, I just need to like step back and like recollect myself. And, my therapist at the time was like, that's so hard for so many people to do, because a lot of times what happens with PTSD is that you get triggered, and then all of a sudden you're back there and you get kind of stuck. Ah, my microphone. Whoops. Hold on. There we go. Okay, sorry. Drop it in the mic drop. I just mic dropped on y'all. So yeah, so you get stuck in that space again, and you go back to that stress. So since I have such a I've got my wits about me, I guess you could say. I don't go too often, but I know it's good. It's definitely a good way to talk to someone who's a non-involved third party, and to kind of speak your mind and talk through things. But anyways, point being, the advice that she gave me, or the what she said at the time, I think I was basically telling her that I was telling her how I had felt around this person, and how different that was from feeling like garbage with this ex, right? Because it was very emotional and manipulative abuse before it got physical, which was that the physical was when it was like, oh, I'm done. Bye. Like the moment that hands got laid on, I left. So, but it got to that point. So before that, it was like I just felt like it was just garbage. Like I didn't want to exist. Like I'm not the kind of person who would ever hurt myself. I would never end my life, but I just remember not wanting to exist. Like I was sitting in the back of this car at one point, and I just wanted to disappear completely. And what a terrible feeling. Ah, I did it again. All right. Let me move this. Okay. So yeah, just what a terrible place to be in, and what a terrible feeling to have gone through that. But then as I'm talking to this therapist, and I'm like, well, here I am being with this other person who's making me feel like an absolute queen, right? And what she told me then was that feeling of that regalness, and that feeling that way, that's inside of you, that exists here, and you can call on that anytime you want to. So that really stuck with me. And I realized, she's right. But I'd forgotten that for a little while, right? And this time around, it kind of happened again through someone. And I ended up talking to a really good girlfriend yesterday, a couple mornings ago. And I kind of talked about that. I was like, how do I stand on my own and let my light shine, even through this dark night of the soul, in a way, is what I feel like I'm going through. It's just like kind of like not sad, like I'm not very depressed. It's just there's a lot of emotions, right? It's just like it's kind of turmoil, right? How do I stand in my own sovereignty and shine that light and feel that regalness again, with my own self? And this friend again reminded me the exact same thing. She said, it's within you. That power, that regalness, that royalty, that's all inside of you. And, you just need to remember that and recall that and allow that to lift you up. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I am just doing a lot of self-love, self-discovery, self-mastery. I think that's also a big thing for me right now. Just mastering my emotions and mastering what it is that I can do, what it is I can do for myself personally to move forward through the fog, to still be able to uplift other people, because that's difficult when you're going through something yourself, and your cup isn't full and overflowing. It's a little more difficult to lift up other people. That's kind of why I didn't do anything. I think I took last Sunday off and Wednesday off, and I almost didn't do anything today, but I was like, you know what? No, I need to get up on there and just connect and relate, because I know I'm not the only one out there going through these things. I'm hopeful. That's why I do my streams, because I don't get a whole lot of, follows and views and things like that. Like, subscribe, comments, share it out, y'all. But I do this because I know that within our ecosystem, there are people that are hurting. There are people that are not doing well. There are people that are super upset right now because of the way the market is. And I want to let people know that they are not alone. You are not alone. There are many people, going through the same or something similar as you. And I am here to tell you that you're going to make it. I'm going to make it. We're all going to make it. Right. It's like, silly as that saying has kind of become, not silly, but, it gets used a lot. But I'm being real here. And I think that that's important. I think it's really important for us to have people, within our ecosystem and within our community that are going to just be real humans, right? Because that's all we are, right? We're just people. I'm just a person behind this camera and this screen and this light. And I want to be a voice crying out in the wilderness about the fact that, we're all just going through this experience. We're all on this carousel of life, right? Going up and down. That's what my little thumbnail picture was, me on a carousel. I love carousels, y'all. I started to find them as I worked for this company. I traveled around the States, and I just kind of ran into a couple randomly. And then I started to seek them out anywhere I went. I was like, where's the nearest carousel? I got to ride it. And it really is, just kind of like a picture of life. You're going up and down as the world spins around, and we're just all kind of riding this thing together and, doing our thing. So thank you again for tuning in. I hope you all share this one out, because I feel like this could probably resonate with a few people right now. And I think people need to hear that they're not alone, and that, there's someone out there for them to talk to. If you do, I'm not a therapist. I don't have a degree in any of that or anything, but I can definitely give you my opinion, and I can be, an ear to listen every now and then, depending. Like, I don't want to open all the DMs all day long, but if you really feel like you're alone, you have no one to talk to, please reach out, because you definitely have someone to talk to, especially in this community. And I said this a little bit at the beginning, but I just want to reiterate how much I love you guys. I love y'all so much. For those who I've met, those who I know, with friends I've made, and those who I have yet to meet, we are really the best community. I cannot stress that enough. There has been so many synchronicities, and to have started making friends at this part of my life, that's difficult. For a lot of people, once you get older, you don't it's hard to make friends as an adult. And I do have, I have got my good friends from childhood that I'll always have, but I was never, like, you all know, I've talked about this before. I'm not a girly girl, and it's had been hard for me to get along with women my whole life. And my sister was like, I can't think of the names of these movies, but like maybe like the traveling the Yaya sisterhood, things like that. My sister is like the epitome of that. She's got her little group of girlfriends that they've been friends since they were all 8 years old. And there's like 10 of them and they all do all this shit together. And they all go to Vegas and they all, I've never had that. And, and I don't regret that or anything, but it's really cool. It's so cool to me that the friends that I'm making now are Hexicans and they're women and they're awesome. Like, I'm obviously like I'm also making guy friends, but to be making friends with other women at this stage of my life is just like beyond awesome to me. And I cannot thank. I actually reached out to Richard a few days ago because he knows that I'm doing the voiceover for the 15 Ways to Fix the World. And I had updated him a little while ago, and then it's just been really slow because of what I'm going through in life and, just trying to take care of myself. So I just I wrote him a little message. I was, not being not being dramatic or anything, but I just like mentioned like, I'm just going through some things and, that's why it's taking a long time. And, where was I going with that? Why did I mention Richard? Well, he told me good luck with life, which was very sweet. But oh gosh, I think I had another point to that. I don't remember. Well, let's go back to chat. All right, let's see. I'm going to read this. I'm going to go back from here. Oh, I like this. Yeah, Dante says, RH was my therapist. Oh, I think that's what it was, is that I thanked him. I said, thank you so much for this community, because without this community, I would be so lost right now. Like I said, I have my childhood friends. I got my family to talk to, but the most healing things I've heard and the smartest advice I've been given has been from other Hexicans. And it's, and the most support that I've received just from some Hexicans I don't even know, right? Like I've been given financial support because I was just at a loss on like what is going on with my life right now, and that was just amazing. Like, I mean, and I have a few Patreons now, like, thank you all so much for your support, for showing me that what I'm doing is valuable and that it's important that I'm part of this community. That really just means like the world to me. And this community and Richard Hart and his products have given me such purpose in life. I feel like I'm on fire, right? Like I feel like this is in part what I was called to do, what I've been meant to do my whole life. So thank you. RH community. Yeah. So Dante, RH is my therapist. Here's one from Albert. He says, the deeper the scar, the more common it is with people. It's the pain that makes it hard to talk about. That is why we sometimes think it is us that is the problem when it's more common than believed. Yeah, very true. That's very true. People think that, like if they're in that mental state, like they think that there's something wrong with them, but they're not the only ones going through that. So yeah, let's see what else. Without ups, the Hex Monkey says, without ups and downs, there is no life. Super true. Super true. We're not all going to make it, but we could all find some peace. Interesting take. All right. Let's see. Good old Motley. What's up, man? Everyone goes through their own issues, demons. I found myself in a funk today and realized that I had fallen out of my routine. You always have the ability to write your own ship. Never forget it, for sure. And routine's been hard for me all my life. I've really struggled with having a routine, but I am now a lot more, and it's like a flexible routine in a way, but at the very least, I wake up and I move my body. That's the first thing I do. And I've started to do more like journaling and reading in the morning as well, before I start my day, because it just really sets the mood for your day, especially me with exercise. If I can exercise first thing in the morning, I feel just great the whole rest of the day. So yeah, definitely having a routine can be super helpful. Hex Force 1 says, thank you for being real. You are welcome. It's what I do. Let's see. So Josh says, I'm trying to get into a place where even if I'm in pain and on my deathbed, I can still revel in the awareness of life. That's cool. That's really, that's super deep. I had this really strange feeling the other day, speaking of, being on your deathbed. I don't remember what the context of the conversation was, but someone said something about, eventually we're all going to be 6 feet underground. And I just got this like, ooh, like really like weird chill of like my mortality, you know? And that's a fact. We are all going to be, ashes or scattered and or underground at some point. And it really just, I think that's one of the first times in my life, to be honest with you, that I have felt that like real sense of like I'm a mortal being and this isn't going to last forever. It was a little scary. But yeah, Josh, I hope that you get to that place because life is beautiful. I mean, everything that we get to experience, sight, sound, smell, touch, if you've got a roof over your head, water and food, you're, way better off than a lot of other people in this world. And that's what I strive to, keep in mind and to have people remember as well, is that we really kind of have it made, and for those of you that got into hex early, you really got it made, like, and I'm looking forward to the next 5, 10, 15 years, because I know that, and I don't talk about, again, I don't talk about tokens and hex too often, but I should bring it up because that's why I'm here, right? Yeah, man, I know that hex and pulse chain and Richard Hart's ecosystem, it's all something super special. Like, don't you guys, you feel that, right? Like, I know I'm not alone on this. Like, there is something super unique, super awesome and wonderful about being a part of all this. And I cannot wait to see the next bull market. I had to remember which one it was. Yeah. So let's see. Hold on. I'm going to read a couple more comments. Hex and the community came along for me too when everything else was crashing down in life. Forever grateful, says Hex Monkey. Right? Hexicans are the besticans, y'all. Fasting is like a routine, you have to break, says Russ. That's true, actually. And I think that's a lot of the reason why I've been a lot more successful and I've just been doing well, because that is part of my routine now, is that I wake up, I'll usually have water and maybe some tea. And then depending on the day, I will break my fast anywhere between 11 a.m. p.m. 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. And then I'll have like a 5-hour window, 5 to 6 hour window where I eat and then I stop. And that's helped me, so kind of going back to fasting again, that's helped me with several things. I used to eat out of anxiety and stress and boredom because that's how I grew up. And that's what my mother and my sister and my niece all still do. It's very unfortunate. But I had to do something to cut that out, because even though, like the person I was with at the time was like, oh gosh, don't beat yourself up. You're eating like walnuts and bananas. And, like even though it was healthy food, it wasn't a healthy action. It didn't matter what it was that I was putting in my body. It was the fact that I was doing it not because I was hungry or because I needed the food. I was doing it because I was bored or I was anxious or I was sad. So yeah, intermittent fasting, it has solved so many things for me. And doing this extended 88-hour fast, I feel on fire right now. Like, I feel rejuvenated. I am excited for life. I am so looking forward to the next 6 months of my life, to be honest with you. Like, I feel like I've got a totally clean slate. I've got this brand new start and I'm doing it right. And I'm doing it well. So look out, y'all. All right, let's see what else. Let's see. Another one from Albert says the brain requires more sugar than any other organ in the body per capita. Look into whole food chromium. It is the #1 element mineral to life itself, in my opinion. Data shows it. Super cool. Albert, if you have any links on that, I know the links like aren't clickable because you're not me, but share the links in the comment to anything about that, and I will post it in the description later. Let's see. Hex Force One says, being aware of your own mortality is sobering. It really is. Like, I really just had this moment of like, oh my God, like this isn't gonna last forever, you know? Like, what a trip. Torin, what's up? Good to see you. Hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't make that up, Dante. He says Hexicans are the besticans. Wait, that is so cool. I don't know who made it up, but the person I've seen use it the most is Hexlina Pulsalot. If you don't follow her, you need to. She's amazing. I feel like she's like Richard's like right hand woman, because I don't know like what kind of relationship they have, but I love like just the way she like pumps everything up, and she's an inspiration to me in terms of like this ecosystem and like what we can do for each other. So super cool. Oh, thank you, Torrin. He says, I'd say you're doing well. You were looking radiant. I feel radiant. I actually got to float on the river today. That was so nice. So nice. All right, let me see. Okay, so with all that being said, I think we're going to end it soon. Yeah, we're almost at an hour. I'm going to read this little last passage and then we'll close it out. So this one says, wish, and this kind of goes in hand with the reason I brought up that thought about the idea that that power of regalness, you know, feeling that with when you're with someone else, feeling uplifted and regal and appreciated maybe, right? Or I don't even, it's hard to put words to, because it's such an uplifting feeling. That feeling comes from within you. So just keep that in mind as I'm reading this passage. And again, this is from SciVive, from Spirit. It says, wish for more wishes. Somewhere along the way, adults lose the smarts that kids come up with. They just assume that whatever you want isn't really on the table, so they aim for the floor. If you could dream the biggest dream and whatever you wanted would become instantly reality, what would you dream for? Now harness the power of jealousy. Many normal humans with fewer resources than you currently have achieved likely more than what you're asking for. So they can't both be true. What you want can't be impossible at the same time that others are already living that reality. Thus, which belief is more powerful for you to hold? The one that gives you the chance at greatness, or the one that has you failing by default and not learning what the real challenges are? The virtual challenges are enough to keep your weak ass down. Go out there in the world and discover what the real challenges are. Oh, Richard. I love it, y'all. I love SciVive so much. So, God, that's just so beautiful. You know, like that was also that's also been part of my journey, is knowing that I have everything to gain at this point and nothing to lose. What do I want? I get to envision my own future. I get to see all these opportunities that lay before me. And especially being within this Hex community, I now have friends. I have family all over the world. I already have, friends in places, right? But this Hex family just means so much to me. And I have had person after person offer, come hang out here. We've got our doors open. We've got a couch for you to crash on. And I love that, because my little gypsy soul, like, I just go everywhere, right? I love just flittering about. And I'm so excited now, because I had told Caitlin, I had told the KSB team that I was going to join them on the Million Pulse tour. And Pulse Chain Pulse Chain coming out, hopefully. Fingers crossed for that. Once they do go, I have all the freedom now to do that and to be a part of that. So we'll see how that goes. I really, y'all, like, I'm giddy. I'm elated. I've got butterflies in my tummy, and I am looking forward to the next few years, being by y'all's side, being here to uplift you, being here to remind you that you are not alone, that whatever it is you're feeling in your head right now, it will not last forever. It won't. All of it is temporary, and this too shall pass. Just keep that in mind, you know. Good times, this too shall pass. Bad times, this too shall pass. It's 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 a smart thing to remember, to keep in mind, and to remember to be present. Again, I know it's hard when you're down and you're going through things, but if you can get your mind to switch over and to start thinking about what you're grateful for, right? Where can you find the positivity, right? Where is the silver lining? So that is that, y'all. I'm gonna read a couple more comments before I head out here. Like, especially this one. I like this one. Hex Force One. I have a vision board with my dreams and goals on it. I look at every day to remind me. That is brilliant. Super smart. I've done that in my own way on and off because I'm a traveler, right? So I actually have like a binder that I started putting some things in, but like the last time I did that was maybe a year ago, probably over a year ago. Yeah. And now I have all this other opportunity. I have so many other things to look forward to. So I am glad you said that, because that actually inspires me to go work on my own vision board and, just start to imagine and envision what my future could look like. I've got a great feeling about October, y'all. For some reason, I think October is going to be like the month of all months for some reason. I don't know. Pulse chain launch September. Who knows? Like maybe because I've heard people talking about the bottom might be September. But outside of all that, I had kind of like a prophecy happen where I I learned, or I got this word that my life would be completely different in 8 months, and this was. Let me think. Hold on. I got to do backwards math. March. It was in March, because October will be the 8 months. And I cannot, like, y'all. So March, April, May, June. March, April, May, June. Same kind of stuff, living the same kind of life, And then, like, I take that back. In March, a couple things changed. Like getting to know Hex people more and doing that kind of stuff. And then June. In June, something big happened. And now we're here in July, and my life is starting to look already completely different than it was a month ago. And it is tripping me out and getting me super excited, because I just feel like the world is my oyster. And I hope that this can inspire people. If you feel stuck, if you feel alone, you're not alone. You don't need to, you won't remain stuck. There is so much hope and brightness coming at us, especially again in this ecosystem. So, all right, a couple more comments and then I'm going to end it here, y'all. We got, good morning. Go try out jujitsu. Very stimulating for the mind and the nicest, humble people you will meet. Thank you, Hex Down Under. That is also something that's, again, the synchronicities. I talked about it earlier in the stream. I actually was just thinking about taking on something like that. God, what was I watching? I can't remember. I don't remember what I was watching something, but they were talking about just having that, not just awareness, but confidence, right? If you know a martial art like that, you can definitely be more confident. And as a woman, I think it's also important, especially now at this age, and again, being on my own, right? Like I want to be able to know that I can protect myself. Crazy thing is, my birth father, who I got to meet eventually, he is a black belt in 10 different disciplines of the martial arts. So he is a total badass. Actually, I might do that. I might go spend some time in California with my dad and like hang out and just like learn from him. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head which discipline that he does. I want to say Shotokan. Shotokan sounds right. Karate. But also, I mean, I would definitely look into jujitsu as well, because yeah, that sounds awesome. Let's see. So Albert says, those two will be a good start to discovering chromium. Henry Schroeder discovered it decades ago, but is mind-blowing of you to watch the first one, which is a video. The second is an article. I don't know if they showed up in the chat, Albert. It I might have some weird setting that doesn't allow you to even post links. Please, if you can, either put them in the comments of this video, or you can message me on Twitter or Telegram, because I do want to add that. Let's see. Nice. And then Hexa Down Under says, if I want any info or help to DM you on Twitter, I would love to. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a little weird right now because I'm kind of just like floating, which is fine for me. Like I love being just kind of this gypsy wander woman, just floating around in the stream of life. And yeah, I just know that it's gonna be good, and I'm grateful for the person that I am. And I hope that you feel that too. I hope that y'all can, go to sleep tonight with a smile on your face and, some love in your heart, knowing that you are special. You are special in every way. You are magic. You are wonderful. You are the only you that there is, and you are loved. So keep that in mind. I did this little thing when I did the conference, but there's something about this, just like pressing my hands over my heart right here and like squeezing a little bit and just breathing. So I think I'm gonna end with this. All right, and we're gonna breathe together. There's actually a yoga pose called lion pose. Go look that one up. You'll see why I did the face. But y'all, thank you again for being here. I appreciate you. Again, please share this one out. I don't ask too often for you to share out my streams, but I feel like some people might need to hear a thing or two that I talked about. And yeah, I'm hopeful that this was valuable to y'all. And I'm looking forward to really starting a new book in the saga of my life. I feel like this is like the middle book, right? There's like a trilogy, so we're in the second book right now. Yeah, I am grateful for you. Have a wonderful night. You are loved. Bye, everyone.